One of the most famous artists of all time, Pablo Picasso, once said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." My name's Gallardo, and I'm here to tell you about my journey, finding that gift, and my giving purpose through what I like to call the GEM movement, giving everyone moments. See, when I was a child, my favorite part of school was when all the math and the stepping stones of grammar were pushed aside, and it was time for arts and crafts. Okay, actually, my favorite time was nap time and recess. So second favorite part was arts and crafts. I was just like every other child. I loved finger painting, gluing popsicle sticks together, and really started getting into drawing. I didn't know I was any good at it until some of the teachers started awarding me, and that feeling of accomplishment really stayed with me for a while, till about high school. See, in high school, I think a lot of us get introduced to some people that I like to call the dream killers. You know the dream killers. Those who tell you that your dreams are unrealistic. Those who throw career numbers and statistics at you so you don't pursue your dreams. And I would love to say that this was the moment that I took upon the challenge, that I grabbed my paintbrush and started really going to work. Fortunately, I didn't. I put everything aside, focused on other things, graduated high school, and in fall of 2007, I enrolled into Nassau Community College in New York, hoping that a door would open that would lead me to the rest of my future. Fortunately for me, that happened. And in December of 2008, remember it like it was yesterday, I attended my very first art gallery showcase in my town. I remember being so amazed that someone in my small town of Brentwood, New York, could throw their own show. I left there inspired, wanting to recreate that dream, relive that dream that I once thought about. So I went home. I remember sitting down and thinking, you know what? I think I can do this. So I started to paint like a machine for the next 7 months. Filled every single room in my mom's apartment with paintings. Annoyingly, probably. So in love with my craft that I gave away my bed and turned my small room into my art studio. In August of 2009, I threw my very first art exhibition. I didn't know if anybody would show up. Hoped my family and friends would at least come so they could fill the room. And fortunately, they did. Over 100 people showed up. That dream that those dream killers were saying that was impossible, I was actually doing it. And for the next few months, things started to really happen. At that first show, I met my mentor who changed the landscape of my work. I started really going heart first into my work and started to create social political pieces. And though I started to really live this, started touring with art, the following year I even made it all the way to California to show my work. I couldn't believe it. But the crazy thing is, through all this, something was missing. I was sitting in class in spring 2012, should have been listening to the professor, but I wasn't. Started to scroll through Instagram where I see this post that says a rally was going on in Union Square. And it said, "Justice for Trayvon Martin," a 17-year-old kid, African-American kid, who got shot in Sanford, Florida, unjustly. They told this man to stand down. The police would get there. You know the story. And I had never been to a rally, never been to a protest outside of the borders of my canvas. But I knew I had to go. I remember this quote by Nina Simone that said, "It is the duty of an artist to reflect the times." So I hopped on the train, book bag with a couple cans of spray paint, a couple poster boards. I showed up in Union Square, the mass of people. I didn't know where to begin. But I started to create, started to give free pieces, free posters to anybody who didn't have one. This was the first stencil I created. I made just this little one right here and painted over 100 signs and gave them away for free. Painted about maybe 50 to 200 even t-shirts and hoodies for people. And when I stood back and saw how I can bring a community together through giving, it really started something within me. How could I bring together my community? How could I continue doing this giving? So I had an epiphany. What if I paint a piece, put a positive message on it, drop it in my neighborhood for free, and see if anybody would come get it through the Instagram post? So in January 2013, I create my very first art drop, free art drop, which would come to be known as GEMS, Giving Everyone Moments. So I remember making it. I go to the local bookstore, drop it right outside, Instagram it, put good luck, my very first art drop. I drive away, didn't know if anybody would leave at that time of the night, and 10 minutes while on my way home while driving, I get a notification on my phone. It was a photo of one of the local people in my community holding the piece with excitement and happiness. I was in awe. I'm like, no, this can't be that fast. So I ran home, painted another one. Paint was still wet. I go to another location, drop it right in front of the building, Instagram it. Wow, I can't believe that one went so fast. Here's another one, guys. Free art drop. 5 minutes later, gone. I couldn't believe what was happening, and this feeling of giving and bringing community together through art was really starting within me, and something had started that night. So for the next few weeks, I dropped every single night. And I started to hear a rumor that there was 10, 20, and people rushing to get a piece. Now, I hadn't waited at the time to see if anyone was doing this, to see how much. But I heard of the rumor, so one night I'm like, let me go see if this rumor's true. And the first night, there was that many. 2 months later, I had dropped 100 at this time. There were over 125 people out all in one night looking for art because I was giving it. They looked like they were winning the lottery when they found it. It was just art, but it was beautiful. But I didn't want to just keep it in my community. I loved it, and I will never forget my good old town of Brentwood, New York. But I decided later that year, let's take it a little further. So I went to Paris. Stood out there by myself. My mom thought I was crazy. Went right in front of the Eiffel Tower and painted pieces for free. Gave them away. Hid them around the Louvre. And created the not really a scavenger hunt, because to me this felt more like a treasure hunt. The gems showed up in Peru. They showed up in London, in Australia. The gem movement had become international. By the end of that year, I dropped 400 gems. It's quite unbelievable at this point. Thank you. It's been 3 years now. I've dropped 1,700 gems all over the world. And if anything's come from this, I hope that I've inspired people to give whatever craft they have. You see, the evidence of one's character is measured not by the attention they can obtain, nor the number of people they get the attention of, but what do you do once you have that attention? For me, it is to inspire them to give. So what I want to inspire all of you is to give whatever craft you have. We are all gems. We are all precious and valuable. But more important than that, we can all give gems. We can all give everyone moments. Thank you.